With so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being somehow, someway. Keep coming up with funky ass like every single day. 2 in the morning and the party still kicking cause my mama ain't home. I got some getting it in and they ain't leave it till 6 in the morning. So what you gonna do?
Welcome to the Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 8 review. This is Couples Couch with
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get into this week's episode. Lots of drama, lots of foolery, as usual. Before we get into this week's episode, I want to give you guys a teaser. We have a Married at First Sight cast member from the Houston season, last season, dropping by Couples Couch this week. So stay tuned, turn on your notification button so you don't miss a beat when we drop that video. Stay tuned to see who is dropping by Couples Couch from the Houston Married at First Sight season. That's going to be so exciting. I can't wait.
You want to say stay tuned one more time?
Stay tuned. If you are new to our channel, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. If you have been here many times before, you know what I'm about to say.
Yo, look into the
this
camera.
This will be
Quit
a high-level
overview.
A high-level overview. We do not get into the nitty-gritty details of everything that happened in the episode. I don't think I have enough juice in me to go through the nitty-gritty this time, so this will be very high level. The name of this episode is called Striking a Balance. In this episode, the couples ease into their domestic life together and get a chance to see their friends and family together since their wedding day. In the first few scenes of this episode, they meet up with their friends and family. The show opens up showing the couples being domestic. Owen and Katina are in the kitchen cooking. He's like making breakfast. Mark and Lindsey, they're in their apartment. He's like swiffering the floor. She's giving him something strange to eat, to try for the first time. Noy and Steve are in their apartment. They're showing off the pooper scooper that they bought because Steve doesn't like picking up dog poop. And then Alyssa and Chris are shown in their separate homes, starting their new journey back being single all over again.
Why are they on TV?
I don't even know why they even wasted the film.
Unless you gonna hook Chris up with somebody new, why are we watching
it? Mostly why Alyssa? Not even Chris, but why is Alyssa even here? Like, no one cares. So Chris said he asked for a divorce from Alyssa because she had zero try in her, which we all see. That was it for the first scene. Let's get into the next scene. Noy and Steve are in their home or their apartment. Noy is working from home. Steve is not. He don't have no job. Steve says he's doing his part by cooking and helping around the house because he's not ready to commit himself to a full-time job just yet. Steve says that after their meeting with Pastor Cal, he was a little thrown off by how bad it affected Noy that he is self-employed. Steve said he is responsible for himself. He has savings. He can create multiple streams of income when he needs to. And just because he doesn't have a 9-to-5 right now doesn't mean that he can't contribute when he needs to.
What do you need?
Who? Noy?
Noy. What?
Just the idea of
Did we go out and you had to pay for something?
So you gonna have me cough? Listen, I think she's round up.
Well, first she need to round down because I'm not having 3 kids. I don't give a damn. Get a say, I get a say 2.
You're right.
But guess what? We get to compromise on 2.
I think
or none. I don't care.
I think she's concerned with just the idea of someone just having a regular job, like a regular job to go to. She said,
hacking.
I'm sorry.
Cover your mouth and look away. Common decency. Because we're married, you get to infect me with your...
Excuse me. I'm sorry. One good cough. Okay. That's her problem.
Yeah.
I think because she's so used to just going to work herself, it just gives her pause that he's not. But he's like, listen, I got money in the bank.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry that you have to work every day to sustain. Like, apparently, wherever I get paid the bag.
Steve.
I got money in the bank. Shawty, what you think? I got money in the bank. Shawty, what you think?
O meets up with his friend at the park. You saw him working out?
Yeah.
Getting right and tight. He talks to his friend about...
Looked exhausting.
Because it's hard work to work out. O meets up with his friend to talk about the status of his marriage with Katina. O tells his friend that he's worried that if he has sex with Katina, that he may look at her differently because he doesn't know her mentally. Please elaborate from a male perspective, because I don't know what that really means.
I don't know what the hell he talking about.
I don't get it. I'm like...
Man, I don't want to sleep with her because I look at her different. Naked.
Okay, O says he has some ups and downs with her. Katina left for 2 hours to go grocery shopping, came back with bread and water. I hate to break the news to you, O, but she didn't go grocery shopping. She went to Starbucks and Target, and she went to Home Goods to smell all their candles. We do when we leave for 2 hours.
What I heard was she left the house for two games of Madden and came back with sandwiches.
Unmade sandwiches, just bread.
Sandwiches the same.
I'm sorry.
I don't care if Subway made it or Katina made it. It's a sandwich.
Listen. So he says that kind of bothered him because he was like, she says she doesn't know how to shop for two people. How does that make sense? Like, you don't know what snacks he wants, and if you don't tell him to text you what snacks, right?
I think the problem is she's not worried about it. Like, she's not domesticated. It sounds horrible. She's not domesticated. Like, she doesn't think about what's in the refrigerator because, like she said, she door dashes.
Right.
Like, I get it. When I was single, I had maybe some noodles, maybe some cans
but you still knew to make a grocery list.
No.
Or you thought about what items you need to make. Like, if I want to make bacon and eggs one morning, if I want to have cereal one morning, if I want to have spaghetti, I know I need noodles, meat, sauce.
It was just in the house. Like, you never really, you shop for it here, and it was never like.
But even when I lived alone in D.C.
You're a girl.
She's a girl.
You paid all your bills on time. Go out before you had to go to work. Like, you live by the rules.
But it just don't make sense to me that you don't know how to.
We was lit. Shop. We was in the club. Like, don't nobody care about, well, what are we going to eat Thursday for breakfast? Do we need to get bacon? And do you want Canadian bacon or regular bacon?
Everybody wants. 4 people wants to eat.
Well, that's because our life is different now.
I don't want this responsibility.
Katina going streets to being married.
Still don't make sense. I'm with you, on this one. Don't make sense. Make a list. Ask me, what do you want? Doritos? Do you want Lay's? Ruffles? You want some dip? Pretzels? Like, how do you not come on with dinner tonight? I don't know what we're eating for dinner tonight.
How do you not know what we gonna eat for dinner? We're eating for breakfast tomorrow.
But I make my
what we gonna do for breakfast tomorrow?
I can't tell you because I'm sick and I haven't gone grocery shopping.
That don't make no sense. Your list should have already been made before you got sick.
What?
So what's that said? Oh, I got a plan. What I want for bacon.
That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying when she got to the grocery store, how could she not have a list? I'm not saying she needed to wake up and know what she's gonna eat that day. I'm saying when you go shopping for items.
Have you seen her? She don't eat milk and bread. She's like 102 pounds.
See, we talking 2 different stories though. Still.
So what are you trying to say? She went to get groceries and came back with milk and bread. Why?
Water and bread.
Okay, water and bread.
What are you talking about?
Why are y'all going at the girl? Because she don't shop. So?
She don't know how to shop.
He don't know how to shop. He didn't shop. It ain't like he went and got groceries.
He says that he's usually used to cooking for himself. He said he even said he's used to doing.
So he don't know how to shop for 2 people?
That's not what are we talking 2 different languages? Is it the medicine? Like, I don't know. I don't think
you're giving her a hard time because she said, I don't know how to shop for two people. And the person who didn't shop for no people is saying, I don't understand it.
He said it don't make sense.
Because he expects her to cook and all this other bullheaded crap.
Let me leave the house pre-kids for 2 hours to come back with a loaf of bread and a case of water. You'd be like... That would have been more than you was normally grocery shopping for. I grocery shop
before the kids.
Yes, we used to go to Giants all the time. What are you talking about? Now, are you dumb? Like, what are you talking about? We always had food. If I didn't have something to cook, I always had snacks galore on deck. I had finger foods on deck all the time. You're telling me she didn't even know to buy lunch meat and cheese to go with the bread? You just come back with a straight dry loaf of bread?
What was she going to the grocery store for?
I don't know.
If she was going there, if they already had lunch meat and cheese at the house, if she was going for...
Now you're going too deep.
You're the one going too deep, calling the girl slow.
I never
called her slow. Because she don't know how to grocery shop.
Do I need to run the tape back? I've never called this girl one name. I said it don't make sense.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Okay. I really don't. I don't forget. I just don't like how he's like, she don't know. You just want to go
against whatever O say. That's what it is. That's what it is. And even if it don't make sense. See?
He don't make sense. It don't make sense. She don't know how to grocery shop. But I can tell sex stories of banging somebody's 2 generations of a family. But this don't make sense. That didn't make sense. That's what don't make sense.
You wearing me out. I'm sorry, I don't agree. Let's agree to disagree.
You don't even know what you're agreeing with.
I'm agreeing that you should have known what you were going out there for. If you were really going out there to get...
She might have got exactly what she was going out there for. Just because he don't understand. Did he ask her what she was going to the store for? No. Did he say, hey, while you're at the store, can you get me this? No. He saw her go out the door and he saw her come in the door with water and bread. That's what she went there for. She in there making wish sandwiches.
Moving on because I'm about to argue with you.
You gonna argue with me?
I'm about to fall out.
I'm hungry. But you gonna sit there and kiki with O about her not grocery shopping as y'all don't.
Key.
I'm glad you cut off your stupid mohawk.
You an old hater. Mark and his friend meet up to talk about his marriage. Mark says Lindsey says things that are inappropriate at times.
Mark always looks like he's
him uncomfortable,
baffled, and he might be.
Mark says he thinks that she doesn't know how it comes across sometimes, and these are the things that make him want to slow down emotionally, because it's a turnoff for him, and it's not a trait that he wants for his wife to have. So I see his point. Imagine me and you are hanging out at Grandma and Granddad's house, and you put my ring on my finger, and I'm like, yeah, I like it tight, in front of Grandma and Granddad. You know what
it didn't even compute, like, in front of Sandy and Joe?
Yes, all with it. Like, they would be
got
like,
no respect.
Granddad probably couldn't hear
you already
me.
got half your mouth shut. Close the other side of your mouth. You can't say appropriate stuff. He got the hearing aid on.
You got to turn it on anyway. But still, it's the principle. Like, you don't say certain things. I think she just doesn't have the filter, and she needs the filter. Michael meets up with his sister to talk about his marriage with Jasmina. He tells his sister about the conflict they had in Puerto Rico where they fell out because Jasmina cut him off in conversation. Michael's sister says he needs to be mindful that Jasmina does not know you. She's trying to be open and vulnerable with someone she just met. You got to give her time to get to know you because you don't know her past scars. And she probably has her walls up to protect herself. She seems to be Team Jasmina, you know?
Her past? What kind of scars can she have? She got long-distance relationships.
We all been through it to some degree.
To what? He changed cellular plans on you, and now you got to pay when you want to talk to him during the day. Like, what? You've been on long-distance cell phone relationships.
And she's gotten hurt. Remember she said somebody had a baby on her?
He had a baby. It wasn't on you. You wasn't around. Like...
Chris heads home, back to his house to video chat with his mom, and breaks the news that he's getting a divorce after 10 days of marriage. Chris says telling his mom this news breaks his heart because she wanted to see him married. What is the joke?
Chris is such a good dude, but it couldn't have been me. That's why I would have cut. Listen, no. I'll call her on the phone, y'all can watch, but I'm not going to sit here
and talk to your mom face to face.
Mom, she left me. Or I divorced her. At least you could say I divorced her. I divorced her. Like, but you still... Come on, what would you do if PJ came home talking about he going to marry a stranger?
After I wring his neck like Bart Simpson or with the tongue hanging out. PJ already knows at 5 that his mama's head ain't wrapped too tight.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to go into this life doing right as long as I'm around.
Yeah.
Because he knows I'm here for all the smoke. So anyways, Chris tells his mom that Alyssa said she was robbed in this experience because she didn't get the guy that she wanted. Chris' mom said that he was the one who was robbed and Alyssa got her 15 minutes of fame. Come on, Mom, with the facts, right?
Yeah.
Chris says it's going to take some time for the frustration and disappointment to wear off. And I just think that personally, Cam's opinion, you might agree. Why you made this face before?
It's going to take some time for this to wear off.
My opinion
if producers came up and said, hey, we just got a contestant that we was going to use, she's ready to go, he'd be like, all right, let's give it a shot.
The frustration of what he just went through is fair. He has the right. He reserves the right to feel frustrated and disappointed because he's put all his hopes into this working out.
How is that going to affect your next relationship, though? Like, you wasn't in a relationship to have lost anything.
I don't think
you would never.
He done geared his whole. You ever want to do something real bad? Not say marriage, but like you want to do something real bad and it don't work out and it goes completely left according to the way you wanted it to work out.
Yeah,
and then you get frustrated. That's what he's saying. That frustration and disappointment is going to have to wear off. You have to let him.
So he can't. He can't date nobody else.
Nobody didn't say that. How are you coming up?
So
with
what frustration are you talking about?
You're dumb. Okay, so my opinion is this. I think Chris should get a second chance on another season of Married at First Sight. Like, they should round him back up for the next season because he didn't get a fair shot at all. At all.
Chris just need a girlfriend. He need a partner. Chris
whatever
like,
you
come
can.
on, I appreciate
Unmatchables, is that coming back
I appreciate it, but I don't want to wait till next season. I need somebody now. You damn right I'm frustrated. You just talking about my frustration. I'm talking about getting rid of it.
I'm not. Next, Katina's friend stops by and they talk about her marriage to O. They talk about the Garter dance. Do you remember him with the dancing?
Yeah.
And her mom rolling her eyes during that.
Well, that didn't make sense. Why are you bouncing your booty on her lap? How that make sense? I think
he was trying to give that. What is that old school?
But I can't go get bread and water.
What is the dancers back in the day? They used to call them. They have a name for them.
Gigolos?
No.
Chippendales.
That's the name of it. Chippendales. It's before my time. What was I doing knowing about Chippendales? I don't know. Was that at like a strip club? What was it?
Yes.
Oh,
it
so answer the question, fool.
You should know that. I don't understand how you don't know that.
Why would I know that? I'm only friggin' 38. When was Chippendales
She
open?
was only single.
You don't know what you're talking about, but I feel like
bread and water.
I just feel like maybe because I'm on this antibiotics, I feel like I'm in a different dimension than you today.
I'm just ornery.
And I'm not here for it because now I'm getting mad. I'm getting aggravated with you. You're just doing this on purpose to rile my fever up. Anyways.
Gotta get you sweated out.
This is the part, Chris. Stay single in your home with your windows and your peaceful desk and your video chats.
You already know that after he was sitting on the stairs Let's get to that point. Let's get to that point.
Okay, sorry. I digress. Just, you don't want this aggravation.
You don't want that either.
So Katina, friend said she wasn't very impressed by it, but Katina said she enjoyed his Chippendales dance. To me, in this scene with Katina and her friend, there was like some weird petty tension going on, like a low-key argument happening, but it wasn't coming out through words, but it was coming out through
energy.
The energy was real weird to me. It's more giving me frenemy vibes than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Tina friend says, "Oh, seems like he talks a lot and goes on tangents." She said he talks so much it came off like he didn't want anybody to ask him questions when they first met him for that brunch. You remember after they got married? And then Katina's friend said it's alarming that during that lunch or brunch, he mentioned that he's never dated a black woman before. And Katina was like, well, I know he said that, but it's not alarming to me. He is half Irish and then her friend was black. He's half black. Like, she's
I was offended watching. I'm like, hold on. Who?
They was talking to this one.
Yeah, if wait a minute.
Because you're half Irish and half black. And you've never dated a black person before me.
A black female.
Oh, black woman. I'm not a black man. I'm sorry.
And also not a true statement.
Yes, it's true.
It's not true.
That's what Poppy told me. And that's what Philip told me. And I think your mom even may have glazed over it. That you've never been with anybody black before. You've only been with white girls. Is this true?
That's not true.
Your Honor?
Completely.
We would like to bring Patrick to the stand.
I'm going to need clarification on been. You keep saying you only ever been with. What does been with mean?
Have you exclusively dated?
There were some that thought that it was exclusive.
Did not. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't care. When they told me that, I just knew what I was dealing with.
Like, boyfriend and girlfriend, I might have had 3 or 4 girlfriends for a long period. But I mean, through the course of my life, I have had different interactions with people.
Different races.
Yeah. It just so happened, one of the girls that you say was one of the white girls I did, I ended up marrying, and she was Norwegian. She wasn't even from here.
So, we're saying this. Your 3 exclusive relationships were all white girls. That's all we're counting. We're not going to count any 1 week interaction. One night stands. Help me, who did I marry?
It wasn't like that, but you may see it was all one night stand. But you might.
I don't know what you was doing out here in these streets before I met
like
you.
Everything isn't a relationship. Like
to
you
me
could
it
talk.
Is.
Like y'all didn't go through the we talking, but we aren't boyfriend girlfriend.
Those are situationships. We don't want those.
But those could go for months on end.
And go nowhere at the end.
Right. So I didn't go. I put it like this.
Case dismissed.
I don't know about I don't know
about
but I never went out like, yo, I'm looking for a white girlfriend. It just happened.
Organically.
Yes.
And I think due to the area you lived in too.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Buying into this line of question, and I think it's stupid and dumb.
And it doesn't matter, honestly.
Did you ever feel like, oh, I'm his first? No, you felt like a girlfriend
I have a fever.
who went to, that got serious. Like it, I didn't look at you as the only black girlfriend I ever had. You were just my girlfriend until you were more like.
And I appreciate that.
But you're the one that brought up, I'm his only black girlfriend. Like, that's a you thing. That's not a me thing. You can't put that on me.
I am merely stating
I didn't care
fact.
if the girl's green, yellow, red. If she liked me, I liked her too.
I was merely
There's so many other factors she could not like me for, or I could not like her for. The color of her skin never came up or never came to mind.
That's amazing. That's good. We should, love has no color.
Yo, you.
He's half Irish, half black, and her friend cuts him off. It was like, he's black. He's a black man, and it's alarming. And they start to low-key, like, shade each other, but in conversation. Not, like, coming for each other personally, but it was like, you need to realize, like, this is a big deal. And Katina's like, it's not a big deal. Like, I've known him for 2 weeks now, and we've moved past it. It's not an issue for us. She's like, well, I'm going to keep my eye on him. Next scene shows Alyssa meeting up with her best friend to just straight lie. For lattes and lies. They talk about her marriage to Chris. She says at first glance, Chris is not her type. Alyssa's friend said, did you have a chance to, have any deep convo with him? And what's it called? Carlissa. Put their names together. Alyssa says no. And the resort was very small. And everyone knew where she was at all times. And if Chris wanted to talk to her, he knew where he could find her. I'm so glad that the show started cutting in to show her, I don't want to talk to him. Can you tell him not to come over here? I hate him. I don't want to talk to him. I literally wrote exactly that. Like, yes, that's everything she said. Thank you. I watched it. In that scene, reconfirmed how much of a liar and a storyteller and a narrative spinner she would be. She'll lie. It's just scary to just see someone straight lie to who you call your best friend at that, and tell the lady that y'all ain't never had an opportunity to speak. You know she gonna watch the show. You know, in her group of friends, everybody call her lying ass Alyssa. Like, if there's 2 or 3 Alyssas in her group, they'll be like, oh yeah, girl, Alyssa's coming over. Alyssa, which one? Excuse me. Lying ass Alyssa. Oh, okay. I know who you talking about. Must be because Alyssa's friend even went on to say, it's a shame that I didn't even really get a chance to meet him myself, to get to know him, Get out of my nose. To get to know him and, get to see who he is for myself. Alyssa continues on and says that, the divorce wasn't her choice, that she wanted to try and put effort into the marriage, and told him that, and he went and Chris didn't want to. Y'all got me here. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Y'all done dragged me out of my bed, put hair and makeup on to deliver this filth. And I'm dying over here. But does anybody care? What do you want us to do? I went and got you medicine. I went to the doctor. I'm on antibiotics. I'm on steroids. I'm trying to drink orange juice. I'm taking Mucinex. Y'all ready to do couple counts? You better chill on them steroids. I am trying to get this out, okay? All right. Y'all said y'all was looking for me? Here I am. You can't hide from nobody. Cough. I'm not. Listen. But this shows y'all my killers come in the house tonight. You gotta hide somewhere else away from me. Close the closet door right on. You gonna find me because of my cough? You're like, shh. You gotta go. I legit probably have a fever right now, but I'm trying to get this out to y'all, okay? And I'm trying not to get sick. I'm taking airborne and everything. That's who y'all should pray for, is me. She's already sick. Pray that I don't get sick. You don't care. I just don't want it. So, she told her friend that she put in all the effort. You whipping it over here, too. It's like that movie Wanted. She told her friend that Chris didn't put in any effort, and she was willing to put in all the effort. Lies. How do you lie to your friend like this? And straight to the camera. Then Alyssa has the entire gall and the entire nerve to tell the producers that the next step for her is probably to pack up and move to Texas. To why? To find her cowboy. Time out. Can I tell a small little story? Go ahead. So I'm watching the show
in my man cave, and Peyton's in there because she likes to come in there and paint. She don't have to worry about getting anything dirty. So she's painting. I got the show on. I'm not thinking that she's listening or watching the show or knows what's going on at all. She's just painting. I'm watching the show, and Alyssa says that I'm moving to Texas, and I lied to you that Peyton's got her back to the side. She turns and she says, Not
even Peyton wants you.
Don't come to Texas. Peyton knows. Yeah, hit her with that. Oh.
I need some, look, I'm cleaning my
6 feet.
Not even Peyton wants you here, and she's 6. Well, 7 now.
Yeah, we don't want you here.
We don't want you.
Keep you, and she was talking about rescuing dogs. I thought she was allergic to dogs.
Yes. Another lie.
Lying ass.
She's the worst liar because you get caught in every lie that you tell. In the moment you get caught. Like, this is awful. Anyway.
And you can't lie that we got real cowboys and cowgirls down here. You come up here with that Yankee doodle horse ride. Yeah, nah, bruh. We ain't for it up here, down here.
Looking for Ryan from Married at First Sight. That cowboy, is that the one she's coming to look for?
If not, I need to advise him not to go that way.
Let's move on to the next scene. Jasmina meets up with her friend to talk about her marriage with Chris. She says that she thinks her friend is a good person to talk to about relationships because she's been engaged for 8 years. Time out. Flag on the play. You have
last
been
person
engaged for 8 years? We don't want your advice. We don't want nothing you have got to say.
Nah.
Why are you not married right now?
Probably because she go around coughing on her.
I'm
her
sorry.
to-bees.
I'm sorry. Her to-bees. I mean, 8 years of engagement. I'm not saying that's not what people do. You know, do you, boo-boo? But I don't know if I would want your advice. I have a better chance hitting up Cleo or Alyssa's psychic at this point.
Call me now.
Okay, so first she tells her that Michael used a certain tone with her on their honeymoon that she didn't like. She tells her friend that when they went to Michael's apartment, a woman walked out of one of the bedrooms and that she didn't know that he lived with a woman, which she's okay with. It's just the fact that he hid it and didn't mention it that gives her pause. So now they have she has a trust issue with him.
I don't care if he lived with a woman, but you would think if 2 women live here, it'd be cleaner.
It would look better than this. But
what kind of women he lived with?
Not only that, but a man should be able to keep a place clean too. Let's not just put it on women. Like, you can be clean too. It's true. I'm keeping the sides fair. It's true. So Jasmina says,
so a man gotta clean, but he don't got a grocery shop.
I never said that. I've never
That's
said
what I heard.
And then you got some lying ass ears, Alyssa.
You don't know what you say. You all hopped up on cold medicine.
Jasmina says when Michael thinks that he's right, he thinks he's right. And her friend says, well, he sounds just like you. And she got jammed up and she was like, but it's not very often that I'm wrong and I can admit when I'm wrong. And her friend was like, very rarely do you admit that you're wrong. And she was like, jammed up again. And then I was like, you know what? Them 2 front teeth is pulled out for a reason. Like, you speaking the truth. Let's move right into our commercial break. Couples Couch is now offering the opportunity for you business owners, if you have a product that you would like to see featured right here on our show and to our 7,000 viewers, sometimes 10,000.
Are you Vanna White? What is to you?
Bring your product here. Email me at the email address running across the screen. And we will feature your product right here during our commercial break during the show. Send me an email, let me know what you would like to send, and we can go ahead and have you featured in our very next episode. Let's get back into the show. The next few scenes show the couples having their housewarming parties. First up, the couples are out and about preparing for their upcoming party. Mark and Lindsey invite their friends over. They make pizzas. They play games. Mark says, I don't know how this party would go. Hopefully fun, but you just never know with Lindsey. That's how their party pretty much went down. Noi and Steve are preparing homemade dishes from their cultures. They talk about how funny it is that they didn't know each other 2 weeks ago, but here they are married and having a party. They both revealed that they both bought journals for their wedding gift to each other. Like they showed a flashback of that. Noi voices her concerns to his friend, that Steve's not working, but the fact that Steve's company is willing to employ him, but he doesn't want to be employed, is a little unnerving for her.
Why is that? He ain't lied to you. He said, I don't want to work. I can work whenever I want, but I don't want to work.
Next, Michael and Jasmina are preparing drinks for their guests and saying that they're happy that Pastor Cal came and visited them prior to this party because the tension would be so thick between them. They play charades. Jasmina talks to Michael's sister about her marriage. Michael's sister says it's good to see Michael with a strong woman because he needs that, and that Mike has a big heart and will be all in. Meanwhile, Jasmina's friend is telling Mike that he needs to try not to go back and forth with Jasmina in arguments because Jasmina will get petty if you let her. And then you got to try to steer her back to figure out what the real main issue is.
Y'all forget, I just met this lady 2 weeks ago. She go ahead, show me now how petty you can get. So I can bounce out in 8 weeks and...
Right.
That's what the show is.
Next, Owen and Katina host their party. Off top, Katina's friend says she doesn't like him, so he better do right by Katina. Katina tells her friends that they have not been intimate, or she has not been intimate with O yet, because they're trying to build an emotional connection first. And both of her friends are like, I don't like that. Like, you should be, having sex with your husband. Right? Katina's friend talks to O and asks him how does he feel about Katina's cooking.
That's the right answer for everything.
And O says she's trying to make an effort. That's how he feels about her cooking. She's making an effort. Not good, not bad. It's just... you get the effort. Friends say O is very forthcoming and they actually don't have anything bad to say about him right now. That was it for their party. And that was it for the housewarming parties. That was a very spaceship level overview. We did not get into the nitty-gritty details of that. Let's move on to the next scene. Next scene shows that Steve and Noi apparently have something going on here. The parties are over and Steve shares that Noi offered to cook some pasta for him. Apparently, she put her noodles in first, and when he, some time went by, he got up to go see where his was at with it, and she apparently didn't even start his yet. So he kind of fussed at her about that, and then she put the noodles in the pot and started eating hers, and didn't watch his, and it overcooked it. So Steve got kind of got onto her about like, hey, now my noodles are overcooked because you wasn't watching it. And then Noi gets mad, grabs sushi, says F this, and leaves. Steve says he calls her, texts her, no answer. He has no idea where she went. She didn't even come home. She pretty much ghosted him for the whole night. He woke up the next morning alone. And then later in the day, Noi comes home, back to the apartment, and sits down on the couch. And Steve says, okay, you're not answering my phone. You're ghosting me. And then you post to social media a long quote about our relationship. This is unacceptable.
Steve, bro, I know you got the bag in the bank. Cut off, bro.
Like Steve says,
go back to the river.
You know how many of our family and friends are following you and you're posting things like that to say you're not happy in your marriage? Why? Because of pasta? And Noi is like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have shared that with the public. But she kind of had a side eye. Okay, here's my 2 cents that nobody asked for. This is dumb.
Never stopped you before. Watch out.
This is
Lysol.
This is dumb.
This is so stupid.
Dumb. Like, even if you get aggravated, it's not enough to warrant a storm out and dog grabbing.
He didn't even throw the noodles on the ground. Like, yo, he's a ruin. That would have been like, all right, he crazy. I gotta go. Right. We didn't even throw him in the sink.
No,
like,
he just got on you like, man, my noodles now.
My noodles, these are gonna suck when I eat them.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh my God, sushi! Come on!
Sometimes to say no and this is not enough for you is what her long quote.
I was just gonna say, you want to order some Chinese or something?
That sounds good though, right now.
It does,
Don't
right?
it? Oh, okay. But yeah, it's just like for you to move out, then you have no idea the further aggravation that's coming in marriage.
With
if
the
that's
little
what
wings.
it's.
After we get done. All right, come
Okay,
on.
okay,
High level overview.
okay.
Come on. Wings, baby. Egg rolls.
But it don't make no sense, right, Patrick?
It doesn't make any
Like,
sense.
You know how many
She was
real
trying to
valid
go.
things
She was.
you're gonna get mad at in marriage.
She was going to get her sushi roll. That's what she was going.
Knowing you got some growing up to do.
Like
Steve,
Kamara did.
Cook your own pasta. Boil the water first, then throw your noodles in, and then it'll come out al dente. You don't have to get them
Or
overcooked.
call a professional to cook it for you, and then you just go pick it up and eat it, like I'm about to do.
And there's that. Let's move on. The next few scenes shows the couples meeting up, all the couples meeting up for a bowling date. Chris reveals that he and Alyssa will show up to the bowling date to let the couples know that they're getting divorced.
Yeah.
The couples bowl. Lindsey reveals that for the first time that Mark had a taco. He's never eaten tacos before.
Obviously.
She's making Do you care to pat me on my back or anything?
Oh.
Don't touch me. Okay, so the couples so
You're
anyway,
coughing for a week straight. If I patted you on your back every time you cough, my forearms look like Popeye the Sailor Man. Yeah, right?
Mark says she makes him try all kinds of stuff and puts it in his mouth all the time without telling him what it is. Steve is like, does she blindfold you when she puts this in your mouth and to try these foods? And then Lindsey was like, I should do that, right? And she makes like a cringy comment. It's like, and I should take him to the bedroom with that. And then Katina's giving her the side eye like, you're making like, you know, inappropriate jokes that nobody cares to hear about.
Right.
You know?
And why do you have to blindfold him to put something in his face?
Next, they talk about keeping the toilet seat up. Steve starts to chime in and says, you know, what's the reason for the issue with the toilet seat? And before he could even get his full comment out, Lindsey like cuts him off and jumps up and was like, as a nurse, let me tell you how I feel. And then
Let's poop 6 feet.
Jasmina was like, let Steve finish his comment. Like, let him finish. And then she kind of calms herself down. And I think that's the thing with Lindsey. Like, she's just so out of there. Like, she don't even realize she's out of there. She just, people talking and just start talking like, yo.
Everybody's like,
chill. Like, just be cool. You know, like she's
not cool.
She remind me of one of those kids that won't be out all the time, and when they get out, they get crazy, like because they don't.
Isn't she a nurse too?
She
one of them people that spread rumors and talk to people at the nurse station, so all her patients get their medicine late. Then when they're like, "Damn, I was waiting on the med. I got so many people in here. I gotta take care of." Blah, blah, blah. Like, I can hear you all the way down to you, the loudest person in the hospital.
So Steve continues his comment and says, what is the concern for putting the toilet seat down? Is it for the fear of falling in or for the fear of the flush with the germs? And Lindsey chimes in and says, it's the poop spray. It's the poop spray for me. And then that face you gave right there is exactly what Mark gave because he felt uncomfortable in the moment that she's talking like that in the group. You know, it's inappropriate. So next they do around the room about their visits with Pastor Cal and how it all went. They get to Chris and Alyssa and they say that they landed on getting a divorce. So this is their announcement to the group. Everybody did not look shocked. Nobody said, I'm sorry to hear. I'm so sorry it worked out. Like nobody said nothing.
Glad you got rid of her.
All sat there. Lindsey said that she learned through her visit with Pastor Cal, though, that you can't have intimacy with someone until you have conflict with them. Do you believe that? Like you can't get close to somebody until you argue with them. I agree to a certain degree. Like I feel like when you argue with people, you do get to know what buttons push them more. Mm-hmm. But I prefer not to. I mean, I don't like conflict, but I will iron you out if I.
This is gross. BS statement.
Who, me?
No. And if I were to say yes, you would look for conflict. Who, me? That's like page
argue,
1.
But I will iron you out.
Page 1 of the conflict handbook. Who, me?
I don't like to argue. But if you said it for me.
No, you don't like people to argue with you. You love to argue. You don't like to argue people to argue with you.
I am non-confrontational. I am a very at peace person.
Again, these are things other people should say about you. Most people that proclaim to be non-confrontational are confrontational.
I am a very at
people that are non-confrontational don't even sit around for the question to be asked.
I don't.
Do you like conflict?
Come on. Listen, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm a very peaceful person. You should know that.
Because you cut people off. You either get on board or you cut off.
That's not. Who am I cut? What is that? Your laugh, though. Your laugh. Who do I cut off?
Who you got in your life?
Who do I cut off? I don't bother nobody.
But if they do.
You cut off. That's not true. I don't have nobody to cut off no way.
Exactly. You done cut them off already.
Anyways, Katina doesn't agree. She rolls her eyes. Lindsey calls her out, being confrontational. Why are you rolling your eyes? And Katina's like, I'm not trying to argue with you, girl. Just stay over there and don't even talk to me. I'm not going to argue with you on camera.
That ain't what she said.
What she said?
You know not to argue with me on camera.
That's true, too.
That's a different statement.
Yeah, that's true, too.
That means we both already been talked to.
Y'all both got ironed out behind the scenes.
No, there might have been some ironing, but it was an ironing like, how can we get y'all in the same room at the same time? And Katina was probably like, she don't talk to me on camera. We can shoot in the same room, but I don't talk to her.
Yes, this is true. She called Katina out to be confrontational with her. I think she could have just ignored her eye roll and just been like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you was being funny. Stop.
No. I'm saying like she tries to do that.
Lindsey.
Yeah, because she thinks she's funny. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I know you cussing me out in your head. Because she thinks she's funny.
Mm-hmm. But she ain't.
Mm-mm. And she don't know how to leave people alone when she ain't funny.
Yeah. And especially when they don't want to fool with you. You know? So that was it for that scene. Let's move on to the final few scenes of this episode. You got arthritis? Oh, man. In the final few scenes of this episode, Mark confronts Lindsey for calling out Katina about her eye roll, especially knowing it will cause conflict with her. Mark says doing stuff like this is what makes him feel uncomfortable. And if this is what she's going to do, then know that this is not going to work. And right there, Lindsey blows up. She's like, you're going to say that? You know, this is not going to work. And I've been here for you when I had to hazmat up and miss a day of work for you. And I was like, this is why you don't like let people do stuff for
don't
you.
Do nothing for me that
if you're going to talk about it. I don't like people to do anything for me if you're going to bring it back up.
I was being nice by telling you not to pick up my stuff and throw it any kind of way.
And now here you are trying to throw it back in my face
that
you did something. If that is a pet peeve of mine.
Leave me alone.
I never like people who do something and then have to throw it back in your face that you did it, because then that shows me that you didn't do it with a genuine heart.
Yeah, like trying to.
Oh, that angers me. So then Mark walks away and says, you know what? I'm walking away, whatever.
Have
and
drink.
She's like, go on ahead and walk away. Go call your mommy. Go see if she'll let you in. And he turned back and he was like, why don't you have another drink? And I'm like, yo, are we at this stage of marriage? Like, this seems like a movie now. You know?
But he's been here. He tried telling the expert, he tried telling Pastor Cal, don't nobody want to listen to it.
It's true.
No, just be patient with a patient. This bitch is crazy.
So it gets worse. Mark goes to sit on the steps, like somewhere in the lobby, right? And You can hear Lindsey on a hot mic going off. And she says he only makes 60 grand a year for selling gym memberships. He's not strong enough of a man to speak up on things. She calls him a pathetic loser. She hates her husband. He can't make her orgasm. And for him to, go have fun in his roach-infested apartment, because she's going to go back to the South Boston and live the good life because he doesn't make very much money. And where would he end up going to live? Like, she was going reckless with her mouth.
I know why your mama don't like you.
Because it is kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You be saying the most.
Your mom's not mean. She's just not proud of the person you are.
You said he only makes 60 grand a year selling gym memberships. You don't have to put the man's annual salary out there.
But you know what? This is probably the same type of stuff Mark been telling everybody about.
That she say stuff behind the scenes that cut.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Leave, Mark.
Yeah. That he's not strong of a
You
man.
can't save
He
this.
can't speak up for himself. A pathetic loser. You call your husband a pathetic loser and that you hate him?
She got the right one, cause...
Can you imagine if I said some of this stuff? I wouldn't. And if I would go as hard as I can because I knew that would be the end. That would be the complete end.
Yeah.
Because,
a pathetic
and that's
loser.
the thing about marriage that I learned.
I just want you to make me orgasm. Like, you crossed the line.
And these are
to people
that
in a public bathroom. You yelling this,
but you're yelling it for millions of people to hear. It's not even just for the 8 people in the hallway. It's the millions of people watching in their homes. There's 2 of us right here alone. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think in marriage you cannot say things that you're trying to chop people down at their knees at, because you can't recover from that, because that will always, people will forgive, but people will not forget. Yeah. So even in our arguments, I am very mindful with what I say, because I don't want to hurt you. Like, I'm not trying to chop you down at your core, you know what I mean? But I will. If you push me. Yeah. But if you're not pushing me, I am very mindful. And that was the end of episode 8. Drop your comments in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are
Lindsey
about
was
this
foul
episode.
as hell.
Yeah.
She's raggedy, bro.
That was rude.
She
I never heard that raggedy. That was a very raggedy moment of hers in front of, like, you just met this man and you saying the absolute worst about him. Like, you still in the trial period. Like, you're not years and years in and you could be like, well, I know I can say this because he'll get over it. You just met him and you saying this kind of crazy off the wall stuff that's not okay to say.
And you the one that got quitted on. Like, he stopped on your sex. Did he not? That was her complaint.
He pulled back. Ever since he pulled back, she got raggedy with him. It's true. But she's not realizing that he's getting raggedy because of how she acts. No, not getting raggedy. He's pulling back because of how she acts.
He pulling back because she raggedy.
I haven't heard the word raggedy in so long, but it's so fitting.
It fits.
It's so fitting. Like, she needs to do better.
You're raggedy.
She needs to do better. That's my thoughts about her in this episode. You can't convey yourself like this to the world. Like, you gotta be better. Yeah. And even if he does make $60,000 a year, you know how many people right now wish they made $60,000 a year?
Yeah, I was like, $60,000 for selling memberships.
Right, like they hiring.
Selling a membership.
I'm just.
Hey, bro, you want to work out? Sign up.
Right, like, come on, don't do him like that. At least he has a steady job. You know what I mean? But before we go, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.
Hey, stay tuned for the interview we about to drop with a cast member from the Houston season of Married at First Sight.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.